I like to call the Benicia Unified May 2nd board meeting to order, and I want everybody to note that it's almost just right on time this time. We did good.
3 minutes. We all made it to the bathroom.
We all made it. We all went. Okay, we have nothing to report out of closed session tonight, so I'm going to ask everybody to stand for the pledge, and I would like the BTA bargaining team to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, with that said, I'd like to call for an approval of the agenda as written.
The agenda as written.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. The agenda passes. Okay, we're going to move on to highlights, please. Liberty High School Community Partnerships, Dr. Young.
So I'd like to welcome Principal Lewis to the podium to honor some very special people that have joined us this year in a really wonderful effort at Liberty High School. So welcome, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. President Ferrucci, Superintendent Dr. Young, and the distinguished board. Once again, my name is Kimberly Lewis, and I am the proud principal at Liberty High School. And I'm here tonight to highlight our Learning Through Interest program, our internship program, and all those that were here in this room and through the community that supported us through this pilot program. This program launched through a lot of great effort from the people in this community. We launched it in February, and a lot of people have come up to me, what do you measure success? And first and foremost, I look to my students, and some of the quotes that are up on that slide is that they feel more confident, they feel 100% supported, and they're more driven and focused for their life and for their academics, and overall being a part of, they see a path for their future. However, there is some data that we're able to pull for the last 4 months. The students that are in the internship program have increased their GPAs about 0.78 for an average of 3.56 average GPAs for more than a 6-week of an internship. And some of the kids have actually defined what they want to do with their lives. I wasn't quite sure what I want to do, Ms. Lewis, but now they're like, I want to get into pediatric medicine. I want to be a NICO nurse. I want to get into the nursing field or pursue a career in music. Learning Through Interest interns have a 94% attendance rate at Liberty High School. They see the connection between their internship and what they do at school. And WASC, which we talk about later, has identified it as one of our actual strongest strengths to promote students and community and connection. One of my students up there is the longest running internship. That is Nate Rebay. That's an amazing story. He is working with Lindsay Glass and has made his first ornament. And he wants to get into welding, but he is really understanding how physics works. So these successes drive us to want to make this program expanded, make it better, where all students are LTI, all students, regardless if they have an internship placement or not, are going to be driving their own project-based learning that is standards-based. And none of this could happen without the community partnerships that we hope to cultivate and expand upon. So the following groups that I want to say thank you to. First, some of them could not be here tonight. Celeste Smeedland, she is the Director of Arts Benicia. She was one of the very first person to say, whatever you need, whatever you like, I'm here for you. Justine Chadley and Tom Foote at In Harmony. David Lindsay of Lindsay Art Glass. Ann Dunleavy, Lindsay Dion, and Debbie Hope from Parks and Rec. One of my We have Alex Lewis Need here from the Vallejo Admirals. If Alex could come up, please. I should have had all this ready for you. Sorry, sweetie. So Alex actually is a Liberty alumni that works closely, so she understands the struggles of students, and so she's worked closely herself. Here, I'll get it for you. So sorry, sweetheart. Christina Moore from Robert Semple with two amazing teachers, Christy Henney and Jillian Ramos. If you could come up, please. And Alfredo Romero from the maintenance department. I swear, is absolute godsend. He takes on my boys. So I just want you guys, as a community, I want to say thank you to all our partners here, and hopefully we'll expand this program next year. Thank you. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tom is here. Yay, Tom. Sorry. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Thanks everybody for volunteering your time, providing great service for kids, and we look forward to the program continuing and flourishing. And thank you so much. Really well done.
All right, we're going to move on to reports right now, and we're seeing no students. We have no student reports this evening, so we are up to Dr. Young and the Superintendent's Report.
Okay. Evening, board. Good evening, everyone who had an opportunity to come. A few items I'd like to cover. So this is always a fun time of year where time seems to speed up and the number of things we have to get done accelerate. But we're well positioned. We're ending this year, moving into next year, and I think we're closing it out well and prepping well. And I wanted to start off by commenting on the negotiations effort that we engaged in with the students. You are here. Well, you are here. What is your pleasure, Madam President? Should I continue or?
Why don't you continue?
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to acknowledge BTA, their leadership, their membership, the board, the team, management team. We went through the negotiations process in a way that we kept talking about that. How can we do that effort in a way that lines up with all of the excellent work we do throughout the district? And I'm very, very proud of this district. This is, I believe, a very big deal for us. And I think it's my hope and my confidence is that it builds a lot of trust and good faith and hope and passion and joy for our partnership together as we move forward to do great work on behalf of our kids. And I'm just thrilled. And we got it done, I think, in record time. And I think Dr. Gill said under an hour, something like 35 minutes. Some other superintendents, we were at somewhere I was talking to them and said, how'd you do that? We said, magic. And a lot of preparation. So I'm very excited. We have more to say on that later because that's an agenda item. So thank you to all, sincerely. Another quick item, I wanted to pay an appreciation to Dr. Beatson, the assistant superintendent on the learning side of the house, who worked very diligently on putting this block grant together, that money that came in for us to address the needs of a population of students. And she's been very creative in the way to put that plan together and solicited a lot of feedback from a lot of stakeholders. And today she had a work group, and I thought it was wonderful. And it was very creative. I love that. When Dr. Beatson first presented it to me, it's not a model that I had done before. And today she put together work groups, and she put an invite out to anybody who would like to work on a number of areas that were outlined in the block grant. And she had the first meeting today at the high school with great turnout. I think almost all of the focus areas are covered. Mr. Lorifus was there. I saw you walking back to Farmer. So we're just thrilled. I think that's a lot of really important work that'll be moving the district forward in some very exciting ways. And we look forward to hearing back from you and members of the work group as we go forward. Okay, he's having fun. I'd like to point out, too, that Ms. Kleinschmidt, the principal of the high school, she and I, and Ms. Rooney is an incredible teacher, the English teacher at the high school. She has pen pals with students at Cal Berkeley, And Dr. Gill and I were visiting Miss Rooney's class one day, and she said, "Hey, we're going on this field trip. Why don't you come with us? And you need to do something fun, Dr. Young. You look a little glum today." So I said, "Oh, happy to go." So we went over there, and we were at Cal Berkeley, and there was a couple of college professors there, and it was wonderful watching our students interact with students at Cal Berkeley and meeting their pen pals, I think for the first time. So that was wonderful, and Miss Rooney just doing something exciting for the kids and great outreach. So really love that. A couple of other quick housekeeping items. We have open house at BMS next Thursday from 6 to 8. And the BEF run is on Sunday. So please get a sign up for that and come and join us. You can do a 5K or a 10K, correct? You can walk, you can volunteer. Also, thank you for sort of prompting me over here. They had the elementary music concerts on Tuesday, and the recognition that we got and the positives we were hearing about that with the accolades were just off the hook. So thank you to everyone involved in that. And maybe the last item is we started something this year that we want to do going forward, thinking about the parents of 5th grade students as the little guys are going into middle school. And talking to our parents and hearing how do we continue to bridge that gap to inform parents so they continue to feel more and more comfortable with that age group, that kids in their middle school. So we're established meetings at each of the elementary schools, and the leadership from the middle school, myself and Dr. Beeson certainly, and hopefully trustees that can join us, will go to each elementary school for a parent night of the kids that are going into 6th grade to talk about the middle school, the strengths that are at the middle school, what it's like to be a middle school student. So very excited about that. And I think that's it. And you think very helpful. You should have come and talked to me earlier today as I was putting this together. Would like to point out we like all these big deals the last couple of weeks. So we had Teacher of the Year, and then we had this event where we went to in Solano County, correct? And would like to point out that our visual and performing arts teacher and department chair, Mr. Matt O'Reilly, won the whole shooting match. So he's the one that was recognized as the Solano County Teacher of the Year. Solano County Teacher of the Year. So that's a big deal.
And now he competes with the state.
And then he gets to. That's right. That's right. So that was a wonderful celebration for all of us. And Miss Ferrucci had this big trophy with all the little plaques on it, and she was looking on it and said, "Hey, I'm on there." And there, sure enough, she was Teacher of the Year at some point in the not too distant future. So just we have a couple more board meetings left and a lot of work to do, but I just want the community to know that I continue to believe that this district is in great shape. There's many strengths throughout this district, and I'm very, very confident that we're going to continue to get better and better and better as we continue to work together on behalf of our deserving students. So there it is. Thank you.
Okay, so who wants to go first?
So I
Ladies.
am Ryan Balmediano. I am ASB Treasurer. Next year I will be Senior President. So thank you. This past weekend, our spring musical Mamma Mia opened, and it will continue performances through this weekend. This week, baseball and softball have had games in preparation for their senior night next Thursday. Next week is Staff Appreciation Week, and to honor our teachers, leadership will be distributing food, gifts, and notes to them throughout the week. Monday is the start of our 2-week AP testing period, where we are all wishing our students the best of luck.
I'm Rena Esteban. I'm senior class rep, and I actually just got to Benicia this semester. So I just moved here, but I absolutely love it. It's such a good school. Bakersfield. Yeah. So on May 18th will be our 2nd annual color run. So make sure to check it out and have a lot of fun with us. This event will be open to the community. The following week is CASP testing for our juniors. Powder Puff players and cheerleaders have started their practices in great anticipation for the game on May 31st. And as a leadership class, we have decided to play music at lunch every day until the end of the year as a way to have fun and keep students happy and involved until the summer.
You guys. So everybody has an exciting, busy calendar coming forward. And don't forget our testing. So best of luck to all of you and have lots of fun with those activities. Fun time of the year. Okay, so with that, I'm going to turn over to my board. Missed no reports?
Oh,
I have a feeling they all got lots to say.
I just meant me.
Mr. Wing, shall we start at the end and kind of move
Sure.
over?
Well, I want to thank our BEF and everybody who participated in the Night of Stars. It was outstanding. It was great food and company and everything. It was really nice to see all the videos of all of the school sites and be able to see all the reps and everything. So that was really nice. And of course, the Employee of the Year, Solano County Employee of the Year was a nice event. Benicia Youth Action Coalition, we meet once a month. We're the alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs team for the city, and we also represent into the county. And we're really doing a lot of work on tobacco products and vapes. And it's, there's over 17,000 flavored vapes that attract our kids, and they think it's nice that they only use one pod a day. Well, that nicotine level is anywhere from 1 pack to 2 packs, or 20 to 44 cigarettes a day out of each one of those packs. And so there is a big issue there. The Surgeon General, thank you, has finally realized that, he allowed stuff to happen, and now he's backtracking really fast and trying to get a handle on all that. So there's been a lot more education coming up on e-vapes, countywide as well as statewide, and BYC will bring it to the district as fast as we get it. So I'd like to thank our band and all the parents of our band. A outstanding car show on Sunday, about 400 cars. And this is their big fundraiser. This pays for a lot of their travel and a lot of their tournaments and stuff they go to. So that was really nice and a lot of great volunteers. Also Sunday afternoon we had a little fire in the high school PAB, and want to thank our director of maintenance back there for responding to that with the fire department, and thank our fire department for their quick job. Very little damage, about 6 feet of curtain and a lot of smoke. And I heard Monday that it was pretty much, you couldn't smell the smoke, but Sunday afternoon you sure could. In the parking lot you could smell it. So Alfredo, thank you for your response and everything on that, and as well as our drama students and director for the quick response, and no one got hurt. A little bit of curtain damage and a piece of equipment, and if you had tickets to Sunday's show, they're good this Sunday. Same seats, same time, all that sort of stuff. So just let you know on that. This Saturday night, the Kyle Highland Teen Center is having their fundraiser. It's a 70s themed fundraiser from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. If you go to their website, or if you need more information, ask me or shoot me an email and I'll send you that. $40 right now, so tickets. It's adults only. Live band. Dress up in the 70s, and hope to see everybody for that. And then, of course, looking forward to the BEF run on Sunday.
Thank you. Mrs. Zeta?
Thank you. I'm not going to repeat what we've already heard because we've already heard it, and I attended many of those functions as well. We had a meeting with the Benicia Education Foundation. They had their monthly meeting, and I attended this last week, and everything seems to be going along smoothly. I don't know how they put these 2 major events on within a month's time. I mean, that's a lot of work, but they've got a great team that they're working with. The event at the Night of the Stars was amazing. And their run that's happening on Sunday, I just got an email this afternoon that we're at 350 participants, and last year we had 700. And they do expect some stragglers to kind of be doing last minute assigning, coming on the last minute, but if we can spread the word, that would be really helpful. And if you don't want to do the 5K or the 10K, they need volunteers at the street corners to help with traffic and to help, to cheer the runners on, or even on the First Street Green. So reach out, and I know they would be really appreciative, as I would as well, for your attendance in that event. And I think, oh, and I'm going to the play tomorrow, tomorrow night, so that'll be fun. Got my tickets. All right, thanks. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Maselli?
I would like to reiterate something that Dr. Young said. I work as a teacher in Pittsburgh, and I was on the bargaining team for 16 years, and bargaining lasted anywhere from a year to 18 months to 2 years. And it was always contentious, and there were many late nights. And I think that the agreement that BTA and BUSD were able to reach is just amazing in the little bit of time it took. And I really want to say I appreciate BTA and their bargaining team for coming and ready to go. And Mr. Rahill, I want to appreciate him for finding the money and to be able to get a deal that there was, a deal that was acceptable to everybody. And for Dr. Young, who really had a strong desire to make something happen and to get there and not have the contention that we've had before. So I wanted to publicly show my appreciation to all sides for really coming together. And as Dr. Young said, hopefully this starts to build a culture of trust between the groups.
Okay. Mrs. Hogan, passing? Okay. Nothing to add. Okay, I basically have been engaged in some of the activities, which have been pretty amazing. I love this time of year because it is a time that we can enjoy a lot of camaraderie together, and there's a lot of celebration in our schools at this time. There's been shows going on and opportunities to celebrate our staff as well at so many amazing events. I do want to share with our staff, though, that I know Dr. Young spoke for me the other night, but I just want to say again, I was so excited when Night of the Stars was coming forward this year. And I was just really, really bummed that I wasn't going to be there this year, to let you know how much I appreciated you and appreciated having that connection again. So I just wanted to put that out to you. You guys are here, so I'm hoping you could spread the word. But I just want to let you know I thought about you, and just know I was there in spirit, even though I couldn't be there that evening. So, but thank you. Okay. With that said, I am going to move us along to public comment. I have a couple of strips in front of us now. Members of the public may address the board at a regular meeting on any. Okay, so this goes up here. So let's do this. I'm sorry. I want to get these in. Don't want to lose your order. Public comment may address the board at any regular meeting on any item within the board's jurisdiction. Cards may be completed requesting to address the board. They are available at the back table and may be submitted to the board secretary at the meeting. The governing board allows speakers to speak at regular meetings on agendized and not agendized matters under public comment. Comments are limited to no more than 3 minutes per speaker. By law, no action may be taken on any item raised during the public comment periods, and matters may be referred to staff for placement on a future agenda of the governing board. I have 4 blue strips in front of me, so we're going to start with Jeanette Sorkin. Is that right? Please come to the podium. I'm sorry? Oh, she's out in the, okay. Do you think we can? We can go ahead with the next one. Can I go ahead with the next one? Are we okay with that? Yeah. If I did that? Okay, it just says some Benicia High School students. There are a couple of students that want to come together to make a statement. Is that correct? Or is just one person coming up to speak for you? Okay, so come on up. Why don't you come on up to the podium?
First, we're going to introduce ourselves. So, yes, I'm LaPaula Parker. I'm a senior this year, and I'll be attending the University of Southern California in the fall, USC.
Well, yay, congratulations.
I'm Dahlia El-Ghanemi. I'm also a senior, and I'm going to Georgetown University this fall.
Yay. Wow. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Amira, and I'm going to Cornell University next year.
Congratulations. Wow.
I'm Ainsley Torres, and I'm going to UC Berkeley next year.
All right.
I'm Liam Madigan, and I'm going to Pitzer College next year.
Congratulations to you all.
I'm Neha Yadav, and I'm also attending the University of Southern California.
Okay.
So just to begin, the reason why we just kind of wanted to all introduce ourselves as long as to what colleges we're going to is because all of us have taken AP European History or AP United States History or both of them with Mr. Coyne and Mr. Fritz. And honestly, none of us would be able to say that we're going to the places that we are without having that experience and without having that teacher. And we're all here to kind of speak on his behalf. The item that we're speaking about is not on the agenda, but we just want to vocalize our support for Mr. Coyne as well as what his classes should be. Yes.
First, I want to highlight how important AP European History was for my study habits and all our study habits here. Mr. Coyne is a really special teacher. He has a really unique way of teaching that actually changes the way you write and the way you think even. And the way he teaches also kind of builds a community in the school so that a bunch of seniors who took AP European History were able to give me advice on how to get to where I am. So yeah, Mr. Coyne teaching AP European History is very important.
Hello, I'm here to emphasize the class size. The proposed classes for next year for AP Euro and for AP American Studies are way too large in order for it to be a personal experience for each student. And I feel that it's necessary to have a smaller class size in order to have a more personal experience, especially since this class helps, as Amira mentioned, to help develop a foundation for study habits, to help develop a foundation for new perspectives, especially for those who might not necessarily like history. It may, like for me, it helped me to like history even when I generally find it boring. So it was a very unique experience for me. And I feel like if there are too many students in one class, that it won't be as personal. Even if the AP European History class is kept, the AP Euro experience at Benicia High School is defined by Mr. Coyne. He's the person who makes the class worth taking. Like Ainsley, I was not at all interested in history when I signed up for the class, but specifically because of his teaching style and his engaging projects, he made me be excited for that class, and it actually became my favorite one. He's very good at teaching you how to write, and the skills that you learn in that class are applicable to any other class. I've used it to teach me how to write for my AP Lang and literature classes, as well as my college essays. So it definitely helped me get to where I am.
Thank you. So for the past 2 or 3 years, Mr. Coyne has been teaching 3 sections of AP Euro and 2 sections of AP United States History, and that's been working very well. The European history class sizes have been kept very small, and the American history classes tend to be bigger just because the juniors know the basics and the foundations from after taking AP European History, and we think that this system works very well, and it would be a huge loss to get rid of that. So we're here to suggest that you maintain that system of having 3 sections of AP Euro and 2 sections of American Studies. Even though the class sizes might be too small, it's entirely worth it. All of us have taken AP Euro. We can speak from experience, as can any student who's taking the class. So we urge you guys to please do what you can to keep AP Euro or AP World History, if you can, alive. As long as the sophomores are taking an AP History class with Mr. Coyne, that works great.
I also just wanted to emphasize how the class sizes are able to impact the curriculum. I think I wouldn't have expected myself to be arguing for AP Euro over AP World because of the Eurocentric stance it takes, but because of the smaller class sizes in the past, he's been able to implement a broader curriculum that allows the students to understand a more intercultural understanding of these things that we're learning, and he can't make these lessons accessible to these students and address the sociological impacts of all of these things that have happened without smaller class sizes, which is part of the reason why we've come today, because this has been something that we've all found incredibly helpful beyond just taking the classes. I know I found what we've learned. Key in with my organizing with the Sunrise Movement, with our work with debate team, and a lot of other things, this comes up again and again, and it's because of these smaller class sizes that we can really address and understand what goes on.
Okay. Thank you.
The last one, but just to reiterate, we just want to thank you guys for listening. And more importantly, we're not just talking about Mr. Coyne's greatness as a teacher in person, but we really want you guys to take into account his preference for his class size, as well as the classes that he wants to teach, because he's a really valuable person, as you can see in our district. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, and congratulations again. All right, Mrs. Sorkin, is she here? Okay. And after Mrs. Sorkin will be JoJo.
My name is Jeanette Sorkin. I live in the Mary Farmer catchment area with my 5-year-old son, Forrest, who has autism. I'm attending today's meeting because I'm concerned about where my son will attend elementary school for the next 6 years. Forrest has been in the special ed preschool program at Robert Semple for 2.5 years, and he is calmer and more receptive there than in almost any other environment. He's rarely aggressive there. He's usually compliant with requests, and he has reciprocal relationships with peers and adults. These are major accomplishments for a child with autistic spectrum disorder, and not to be put aside lightly. Since his IEP meeting in December, I've been trying to work on his kindergarten placement. I was told it would depend on his reevaluation, which could not begin until February and would not be reviewed until May. On January 31st, however, I discovered that Forrest was already slated to attend Joe Henderson. Students with IEPs either attend their neighborhood school or a school that provides needed services that are decided by their IEP team. It seems that many decisions were made about his placement before that IEP meeting, not Mary Farmer and not Robert Semple. I was told to apply for an intra-district transfer to Semple, which I did. He was accepted, but then I learned a day later he wouldn't be going there. I didn't understand why Joe Henderson, but hoping to fall in love with the staff and programs there, I attended the sneak peek last week. When I picked Forrest up an hour later, he ran to me briefly, but I had to literally drag him off the playground when the bell rang. Walking to the car, he kept dropping to the ground and screaming throughout our ride home, and all evening he screamed, made car noises, and showed me that he was stressed about his day. It took 24 hours after the sneak peek before he was back to baseline. Children like Forrest are not puzzle pieces that can be fit in where there's room on a caseload. Forrest is acculturated to the staff building sights and sounds of Robert Semple, and he functions well there. I also hired the aides who work with Forrest at Semple to assist him at home and get him to and from school a couple days a week. This helps him integrate and generalize routines, but that arrangement can't continue if his school and their work site are at opposite ends of town. My son's best interests are served by placement at either his home school or the school where he spent the last 2.5 years. Mary Farmer no longer has an inclusion specialist, and I was told the inclusion specialist at Semple has a higher caseload than at Henderson. I was told Mary Farmer children who need inclusion attend Henderson, but I don't really understand why that program isn't in Mary Farmer. If caseloads are unequal, why not redistribute staff and resources rather than redistributing the children? Shouldn't their needs come first? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, JoJo. And after JoJo will be Ann Lazo.
Real quick, Charles, could you look into that for us? And thank you. Thank you.
That will be great. Thank you. Sorry, JoJo.
No worries. JoJo Donetti, Benicia High boys tennis coach. Under the leadership of Coach Voss in the back, the Benicia High boys tennis team was undefeated again this year.
Hey, congratulations.
So it's 2 years in a row that we are the league champions as well. We had 10 players compete in the division tournament last week. 9 of them made it to the semifinals. where they ended up playing against each other, unfortunately. So we did get number 1 singles, number 2 singles, and number 1 doubles. So those kids are advancing to the section tournament tomorrow. So we wish them luck. And next week we have the team sectional tournament. On Tuesday we will be hosting. We don't know who we're hosting just yet, but that will be at 3:30 if any of you are available to come out and cheer the team on. Tuesday the 7th. If we win, we play again on the 9th. If we win, we play again on the 11th. Trustee Zeta and I had a good meeting with Alfredo about a month, 5 weeks ago to talk about the repairs for the tennis courts at the middle school and the high school. We had a good walk around of the courts to show some of the real problems. We hope that the contractors do the quality job that Alfredo believes they will be doing and that he'll be overseeing very closely. You know, you are spending a lot of money on that, and we really need to get them done well so that the kids have something to play on. We cut our spring program short by 2 weeks so that the contractor can get started on the 13th. And then our USTA teams in the summer, we're relocating them, and we're relocating our summer camps so that the work can get done in June at the high school. So we do look forward to that, and we appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello, my name is Ann Lazo. I just wanted to ask Dr. Young and the Board of Trustees to come with us, parents that are against cannabis that's coming into the city. I wasn't aware of cannabis coming in until like November 2017. I was one of those parents on December 5, 2017 and December 19, 2016 that stayed there till 1:20 a.m. And I'm still fighting it because I moved here for this district. A lot of parents moved here from Alaska, Tennessee, Memphis that I've met. I'm a Bay Area, from the Bay Area. I've been here since 1969. It took my husband 10, 15 years to move me here because our district in Pinole rated DF. Not a D, but not an F, the DF. So when the market tumbled, we were able to find a home that we can afford. But a lot of my friends, like my neighbor that I joined the fence line, he bought at 1.1 in 2004. And I thought my other neighbor bought the same thing. No, he bought at 1 and then found out it was 1.3. We're still here and we're fighting it. And we want to ask you, Dr. Young and Board Trustees, to please speak up on our behalf on May 7th, at the City Council. Because we found out a survey was on social media. We don't do social media. We're trying to tell our kids, my kids are in 8th grade, I have twins. I've had the same pediatrician there at UC Berkeley, and I always tell her, should I get social media? Oh, wait till high school. So I don't do social media. I thought when I was co-captain at Next Door at Waters End, I thought that was a neighborhood watch. And then I found out, why are they somebody selling Louboutin shoes? Why is that person getting a door knock at 5 a.m.? She's 5 houses from me at Waters End Park. And my girlfriend goes, oh dear, you're kind of behind. That is a social media. But I was not aware that was a social media, but now I realize the survey was on social media between Next Door, maybe, I don't even know, or Benicia Happenings and Facebook. I don't have either one at the time. So survey was taken by not all the residents. And it looked like it was only certain few participated. And it's certainly not the parents that I know, because we wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when our husband gets up and leaves. And then we're with our kids, whether you're the stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. We're with our kids for like 8, 10 hours without our siblings, driving them to basketball, drama, ballet, baseball, football, basketball. I had 5 or 6 girls out of the 11 members of the Benicia Middle School basketball team. We would go home at 9, but we'd leave school at 3:30 to get to Berkeley or Kensington. So we don't have time to do social media. So I hope you guys can support us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to move along to the consent calendar. I am going to ask for a motion to approve the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are considered by the board to be routine and will be approved by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion on these items unless members of the board, staff, or public request items to be pulled. I also believe that we have a
There's a
resolution on the
so we
board.
do need to do
on
a
the-
roll call
So we
vote.
need to actually do a roll call for the consent calendar. Are there any comments or questions about the consent calendar?
I would like to I'd like to get a clarification from Tim on the resolution, 18-19-34. I know we do this every year, if I'm correct,
Right.
but I'm sure the public doesn't quite know why we have this.
Mr. Rahal?
Yeah, that's an annual resolution, which will allow the Solano
Bless
County
you.
Treasurer to forward the property tax cash to the school district account prior to the April and December collections.
Okay, there any other questions? Okay, so with that said, any other comments? We are going to ask for a motion. And then, Ms. Friend, if you would do a roll call vote. So do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar as posted.
I second that motion.
All in favor say, oh, nope, roll call, please.
President Ferrucci.
Yes.
Trustee Holguin.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Trustee Wing.
Yes.
Trustee Zeta.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to 13, our discussion items. The Sunshine Proposal for Negotiations for the 1920 school year between Benicia Unified School District and the California School Employee Association, our CSEA. Dr. Gill?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. It is our pleasure that we would like to sunshine with our CSEA Chapter 1096 between BUSD and CSEA. Altogether, 4 articles have been opened. 2 articles are the same exact from both sides, which is Article 9, wages, and Article 10, health benefits. BUSD opened Article 13 as well, and CSE opened Article 16. And we are hoping to meet with them fairly soon, within a week or 2, and get this going. So we're looking forward to have really wonderful and positive negotiations with our CSEA members as well, like we had with our BTA team.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, then I'm going to move on to the next discussion item. And that is a report on Liberty and Benicia High School's Western Association of School and Colleges, or their WASC report.
Right, I'd like to welcome our 2 distinguished high school principals to the podium, and we thought it would be a nice idea for the community and the board, certainly, to get an update on their WASC reports. And so tonight you'll hear a little bit about the process and the findings, and then the focus of the work going forward. And I just, before our 2 principals get into it, I just wanted to recognize and appreciate both of them and their teams. They really got after this with integrity and a lot of vigor, and got into the process. And I think it was incredibly helpful for both school sites, and excited about the work going forward. So welcome.
I think I'll start us off, right? Well, good evening to our board and to everyone that's here. We've been looking forward to being able to give you a report after WASC for a few reasons. It indicates that we have completed the WASC process, which can be very daunting, takes a lot of time, but also because it comes with a lot of celebrations about all of the work that our staff is doing, and then really some direction for where we're headed over the next few years. So it's an exciting process. I want to talk a little bit about what WASC is, for those who might not know, because there's so many acronyms in education. And so WASC is the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, and this is the body that provides the accreditation to the schools. And so very important then to go through the process of really validating the work. I would say it used to feel more like an investigation, but now it's really a validation of the work we're doing. We go through a process, several months, almost a year-long process of working as a staff to create our own self-study report, We're studying our own work in several different areas with a focus on student learning. It all boils down to student learning. And 5 main areas or 5 criteria for that. And so we split up into 5 focus groups. We focus on these 5 areas, one being organization, and then we look at student learning from a standpoint of curriculum, of instruction, of assessment, and then the 5th category is culture, school culture, and student supports. So really wrapping around all of the different services we offer and everything that we do. Once we have that self-study report, we send that off to our visiting committee. And I think we both had about 6 people on our visiting committee. They come and visit for 4 days and get into every single classroom, meet with all of the staff, our classified staff, our certificated staff, and just learn as much as possible about the school. They also meet with our students, and so they get the student perspective as well, which is really fun. As far as the outcomes of a WASC study, a WASC visit, this is a 6-year cycle. And so while you might have a year where you're being visited by WASC, you are always in the WASC process. It's never ending because you should always be working towards those goals and working on your action plan. And so there's a few different possible outcomes of the visit. One being a 6-year accreditation with just a report at the 3-year mark, the mid-mark. The others being a 6-year accreditation with either a 1-day or a 2-day visit. And that's probably generally what happens most often. And then there's also the possibility of maybe 1 or 2 year sort of probationary status. So those are some of the different outcomes, and we'll find out what our accreditation status is probably sometime this summer. They provide their recommendation to the WASC board, who reads through all of that information and evidence, and then they ultimately come up with that accreditation status. I provided an image sort of, again, of that the self-study cycle, just to break that down in terms of what that looks like and what's happening each year, because there is that 3-year sort of mid-cycle mark. Again, you're constantly preparing, gathering data, looking at how students are achieving, what areas might we need to be focusing on, constantly moving those goalposts so that maybe you're doing great in this area, but you want to be looking at all of those areas to see where you can be best supporting students. And so that's an ongoing cycle. And I'll pass it over to my colleague.
I've actually thoroughly enjoyed the process of the WASC study. Felt very collaborative with the WASC team that came and visited, and I appreciate those that came and talked with the WASC team. Some of the areas of strength that the WASC visiting team found at Liberty High School are once again our big picture LTI internship program. They're very impressed with how articulate our students were of how they could explain the program. They did a great job. The relationship of trust between students and staff, community-based mentoring program at Liberty High School, and teacher advisors meet with each student entering Liberty High School to create an individualized learning plan that's specific for each of our kids. Some of the critical areas that we can grow at Liberty High School is to continue expanding our counseling services with an emphasis of drug, alcohol, and mental health. Measuring student growth that is just beyond the standardized testing, looking for different ways of capturing benchmark assessments, day-to-day assessments to make sure we're really authenticating students and their growth at Liberty High. Continue to refine our internship program. They realized that it was a pilot program, that while they were impressed with it, they also saw the potential of growth. And parent engagement and the idea of how can we still bring in multiple opportunities for our parents to be a part of our community.
And I'll cover our areas of strength and growth as well. Student-centered environment, this was voiced over and over again and recognized. BHS administration, which is sort of weird to present to you, coming from me. I promise I didn't put it in there myself. Student access to activities, everything from all the great sports programs, band, drama, all of the clubs. There's just so much for students to connect with and get involved in. Our strong student and teacher relationships, and also our caring and supportive certificated and classified staff. And to me, the thread then when you see administration, teachers, our classified staff is just that caring staff in general that creates that student-centered environment. So we were really glad to have that validated. And then as far as our critical growth areas, they identified 4. Most of these were validating the goals that we had in place and then helping us refine those a little bit. We have a 5th growth area that we've identified that they actually felt like we were doing a great job on, which is technology, thanks to the support of the district. For us, that's still a growth item because we're constantly working in that area, but it's not reflected here because that's our own. What is reflected is professional development. That's kind of the foundation of all that other work. The roots that really help everything grow and take place. MTSS and intervention, this is work that's happening at the district level, and as that happens, we continue to grow our programs at Benicia High School, and part of that really is dependent on then our use of data, and so that continues on with measuring student learning. Something we have in common is how we use that data. How do we know that our students are achieving using our benchmarks, using our different measurements, and that then informs the intervention. So a lot of these work hand in hand. And then finally, communication, just really making sure that while communication often is happening adequately, that the message really is consistent and clear so that everybody feels like they're on the same page. And then for our action plan, sort of our next steps. At Benicia High School, we're actually, as part of the WASC process, required to update, to revise our action plan to reflect the recommendations from our WASC Visiting Committee. We have about 6 weeks to do that, and that deadline was mid-April. So we fully revised our action plan, and it has about a 3-year scope, and that really guides the work that we're going to be doing over the next 3 years. That was reviewed by all of our department chairs, our staff, our site council. It went through kind of the same process that we did with WASC in general, and approved then by our site council and available to you to view as well. And we're excited to really take next year to design, to plan, and then start to implement from there.
It was a little different at Liberty High School. They did not see a need for us to update our action plan. They gave me a little homework during their process to say, please add your internship goal into the WASC program. And so while they were there, I worked with them to establish a new goal. And so because that work was done with me and my staff, that they didn't feel it was necessary for us to do an update of our action plan. However, the goals and what we're driving toward is definitely revising the way that we're looking at professional development at Liberty High School and where we need to focus our attention. So like my colleague said, it is definitely, we're always in a WASC year. We're always thinking about, are we looking at authentically, how are we supporting our students and making sure that they're getting exactly what they need academically, socially, communicating with our parents. So I think we both talked about, we like the process. It really does help us think about validating our work and pushing, I like the analogy, those goalposts keep moving. And it really, I think both of us thrive in that idea of how can we be better. So like I said, I enjoyed the WASC, and for all those that help support this crazy year, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I just want to say a couple things. I want to thank both of you and your staff and the people who worked on putting this together for them. Did such an outstanding job. And just to brag, the high school, I was on the report out, and the WASC team was bragging about our high school. And the talking to them one-on-one, there's so much great stuff that's going on at our high school, and they saw that and they greatly appreciated that. And then being able to be at the inspection at Liberty, I got to brag about Liberty and the great things that I know that's going on over there. And so I hope they saw that too on their report out. I couldn't make the report out for that, but thank you and the staff and the people who was in those books all the time trying to update and keep them going. I know it's a year-long process. I've been involved in that before, but thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you. It is absolutely a very difficult process. Okay, our next item, my computer just shut down, so I'm just taking 1 second to kind of get myself back up. I believe we are now on to 14 non-consent action items. Okay, so consideration and ratification of the tentative agreement pending approval between the Benicia Unified School District and the Benicia Teachers Association. Dr. Gill?
Okay, again, thank you, Madam President. Earlier, Dr. Young and Mr. Musali and a couple of the other board members had mentioned BTA negotiations. This was an amazing experience. I truly want to thank all of our team, our teachers. Really, thank you from the bottom of our heart. Let's continue doing this every single year. Every year we should do the same thing and do all the business that way. Why not, right? Why not? And be open and upfront and be honest and transparent, and let's repeat it every time. So it is our pleasure to share with everybody that with very high vote, I was told 96% yes. That is amazing. Again, that this let's give them a big round of applause. That BTA membership has ratified the TA, and the TA actually said 3% ongoing salary increase. TA also said $69, which is approximately equal to 0.72%. So if you look at a total package, it's 3.72%, and on the benefits. And so I am also required to report, according to our board agenda, the per AB. Let me find it real quick. Per AB 1200, that what will this agreement mean to the school district in terms of budget? That means it will be an increase of total of $872,000 for the 1920 school year. So almost $900,000. So again, congratulations to everybody, and thanks to our board members and Dr. Young and Tim and everybody, the rest of the team, our both bargaining team, for such a wonderful work. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, you can have the podium briefly.
Carolyn Fields, Benicia Teachers Association. I also teach at Benicia Middle School. I wanted to publicly thank Dr. Young, the governing board, the bargaining teams on both sides. It really was incredible. I think we've done a massive step in healing from what was some rough times, and I'm super grateful for everything, and just wanted to say that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, any other comments or questions? Okay, I also would like to say how proud I am of our Benicia team. And by Benicia team, I mean our teachers, our district office. We are a team, and we really do want everyone working together. So I was so excited. I wanted to jump on the table when I got the message. It was like, yes. So thank you, Dr. Young, Benicia Teachers Association, and the rest of our governing board for supporting that. Yes, you're pointing your finger at me.
I also want to thank Dr. Gill for her job in this whole thing and getting it done and being the lead on the negotiating team.
Okay. All right. With that said, I think they want us to ratify it. So do I have a motion? I think we're the holdout here, Dr.
I want to move that we approve the tender or the agreements actually between the Benicia Teachers Association and the Benicia Unified School District.
I'd like to second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, this motion passes. Okay, and item 14.2, consideration and adoption of the Benicia Middle School History Social Science textbook. That must be Dr. Beatson.
It's me.
Sort of anticlimactic.
I know. Put this first.
But we're interested.
I'll be brief. I want to thank Stephanie Rice for leading a great pilot program at Benicia Middle School with the Benicia Middle School history social science teachers. They were asked earlier this year if they were interested in piloting, as there is a new history social science framework out. They were interested in doing that, and so they piloted this year 2 different programs and came to consensus to move forward for your adoption TCI, which stands for Teachers Curriculum Institute, and it's an updated edition. They had used pieces of it in the past. It's called History Alive, and so tonight I bring forward that for your adoption and approval. It's gone through a great process. They presented to DCC, and that's what we're hoping for.
Do
Any
we
questions?
Yeah, do we know how the teachers voted overall on the curriculum?
What was the final?
Stephanie Rice, Coordinator of Education Services. There were 8 teachers total that piloted, and the vote for TCI was 7 out of the 8 total.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, do any other comments or questions?
Yeah, one quick
Yep,
comment.
yep.
This is really exciting curriculum. I've watched the evolution of this program over the last 20 years. It's engaging, it's exciting, it's a lot of work, but it's a great choice. I'm very proud that the district has chosen that for the kids.
So I'm going to ask a question, because many moons ago, I used TCI. Does it still have a lot of student activities and simulation? Oh, this is an amazing curriculum. Yay, Benicia. Okay, I'm done with comments. Now I'll call for a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the science textbooks that presented. Excuse me, the BMS textbooks as presented. I can't even get the motion out.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Okay, guess what? This meeting is adjourned. Yay.